you watched The Paper yet? If not, do you plan on watching it? I'm halfway through it, and it's not bad. Good story, but not nearly as funny as The Office. I finished watching The Paper last night, and I feel it is pretty good. For me, I much prefer this season of The Paper than the later seasons of The Office. Where the later seasons of The Office, to me, they lost everything that I loved about the original run of the show, and it just kind of turned into a bunch of just crazy, wacky, insane characters, insane situations. So even when I watched The Office on loop, I watched the first 4 seasons on loop. I've watched season 8 2 times, when it originally aired, and then when I did my ranking of the seasons for my YouTube channel. And that's it. Same with season 7. I'd never just rewatched season 7 or even most of season 6. The Paper, I felt, was a much stronger season than those later seasons. To your point, I don't think the show is ever as funny as The Office. Thus far, the characters haven't popped as much, but it's a little bit difficult to draw much of a comparison. Like, I started watching The Office after season 4 ran, so whenever I first watched The Office, I had 4 seasons to watch, which was like 60 episodes to get invested in the characters when I first started watching it. Here, I've got 10. And by the end of the season, you're starting to get invested in the little arcs, the rivalries, the people you're frustrated with, Oscar's journey. The thing that probably really helps it the most is that it has a really clear story to it, an objective for the season that you're actually rooting for, which is it's a failing newspaper. This guy comes in that he's really optimistic and he's trying to inspire everyone to let's take this seriously and let's do this. And at first everyone's like, they're kind of clueless that we really want to do this. And then they kind of get into it and they start buying into it. And, The Office was always about this paper company that was going out of business and will they, won't they? But that was very rarely something you actually cared about. You didn't care if they succeeded or not. You just cared if the show continued. And from time to time, there were little wins. When you see that Michael Scott's a great salesman at the one at Chili's with Tim Meadows. And there are victories for individuals that you felt, but you never cared about really Dunder Mifflin succeeding. Versus here, very early on, you're actually interested in whether they will succeed with this paper and their investigations and their journalism and getting people inspired to join in. And they set up inside of the business where they work very clear obstacles to that, people that are working against them, competing motives, in value sets inside of the company that makes for good tension and good storytelling, which gets you invested on a different level than I got invested into The Office. But it's not as funny, and it's certainly not as iconic and memorable. Just you watch the first season and you get to episode 2 and they're doing racist training and they're walking around with cards on their heads. It's so inappropriate that it burns itself into your brain the first time you watch it. And there's every few episodes they did that on the original run of the show of just really great Office commentary. You felt like someone like that, or you've heard someone that did something like that, but it's like the amplified version of it, the sensational version of it, but almost real enough. And it just consistently pulled that off for the first few years. And this never has anything like that. It's not as memeable. It's not as quotable. There's none of the great lines. But you do get invested in the characters. You do care about the story. You do care about the little romances. And it does make you laugh. It is funny enough. So I went in very skeptical. I went in, I didn't like the trailer at all. I waited a week or 2 to even start watching it. In the first episode, I was like, oh, I think they might be onto something. This thing might work as on a story level. I think it's going to work. And then it did. So as someone that was skeptical, I was very pleasantly surprised at how good it turned out. So I liked it. When I started watching it, I wanted to keep watching it. And I wanted to, like, am I going to keep this up? And they did. And they even in the finale, like, had big victories. They, like, it was, you get to the end of the season and it was satisfying as it kind of was a culmination of the story, the character arcs, the romances with some solid laughs. And, you know, some of the people you don't like so much making fools of themselves. So I dug it. It worked. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.